Al-Madina Covered Market, Aleppo.
كل دروب الحب توصل إلى حلب.
This is Syria, a country you've heard about, but probably for all the wrong reasons. But what if I told you that beyond the headlines, there is a land of ancient wonders, hidden stories, and some of the most incredible markets on earth?
Now I'm entering one of the oldest covered markets on earth, and it might be the largest, with approximate length 13 kilometers. Let's dive to Aleppo's Al-Madina Souk.
The heart of Aleppo beats in its souks, vibrant, colorful, and filled with the aroma of spices, the clinking of copperware, and the warm smiles of its people. This ancient marketplace isn't just a center of trade, but a testament to Aleppo's cultural and economic significance over centuries.
Hi, I'm Zain, a traveler and storyteller passionate about discovering the untold stories of places like this. Damn. Today, we're diving into one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, Aleppo, and we're gonna discover its legendary souks. Once I entered the blacksmith market, which is part of the large Medina souk, I faced a small shop, one of the most adorable and loved handcraftsmanship for French people. Perfume, of course.
And here, in the bustling blacksmith market, I met a young man named Mahmoud, a 16-year-old high school student who helps his father in their family's perfume business. And I had the chance to ask him a few questions.
كم عمر المحل قد ايش صرتكم فاتحين؟
هلا والله صرنا فاتحين تقريبا شي 5 شهور وعمر المحل تقريبا يعني 100 سنين.
وصار لكم زمان بالسوق؟
هلا احنا صرنا تقريبا من الثمانينات تقريبا يعني ومستمرين الحمد لله.
كيف حركة السوق؟ الناس بتتبضع بتشتري؟
والله يعني تقريبا الحمد لله كويسة الحركة بس لسه بدها شوي يعني بدها صبر إن شاء الله لحتى تتحسن الأوضاع.
Then I asked him about the perfume industry and business and what kind of smells they produce and sell. He answered me with enthusiasm and a smile on his face saying,
هلا مصلحة العطورات يعني هي من أجمل المصالح. حاليا في عنا إن تقريبا كذا نوع، عنا تقريبا مثل المسك، هدول أنواع المسك، التوت، الأزرق، في كذا روائح، يعني تقريبا شي 10 أو 12 رائحة. في هدول هيك العاديات، الشرقيات، كمان روائح ممتازة.
He kept naming more and more types of wonderful perfumes. What I couldn't resist was the amazing smell of the perfume store. I still remember the first time I walked through these ancient markets. I was only 17, and I was overwhelmed by the beauty, by the history, the soul of this place. But today, all I see is destruction. The same alleys that once whispered stories of generations are now silent, turned to rubble by war and airstrikes.
Once I entered this side of the market, a wave of nostalgia fills me, and I feel like I'm stepping into a time machine, to be honest. Everything destroyed, historical places, it could be dreams of people, families, and I don't own a shop here, but the pain I felt seeing this devastation was deep, so I can only imagine the heartbreak of those who did, those who built their dreams among these walls.
طبعا يعني انت مثل ما شايف كمية الدمار بحلب كتير كبيرة.
Centuries of heritage gone, and with it the lives and hopes of so many.
القلعة في إمكانك تشوفها هنيك، هي القلعة وحوالينا حلب القديمة.
This isn't just the loss of buildings, it's the loss of identity, of memory, of dreams that will never return the same. Seeing
this plenty amount of destruction, people hopes, dream, it was all bombed by airstrikes. And I feel awe and gratitude at the same time of what we have or what we have today.
والآن يعني إعادة تأهيل الأسواق والمدينة بشكل عام. حلب من أعرق المدن حول العالم ومن أقدمهم، يعني تعد حلب من أقدم المدن، ويعني فينا نفرق بين أقدم عاصمة وأقدم مدينة. حلب تعتبر مدينة أثرية جدا، بإمكانك تشوف وتصور الحرب اللي أثرت على البلد والمدينة.
Truly brings the joy back, and the smile is the construction and restoration and maintenance works that they're doing in the markets. As we can see in here, this code with number 1 on it is related or linked to the stone number 1, because all of this is historical and had been recorded in the UNESCO, I think. We can see all this much of barcodes, 5, 4, 3. So, yep, you can see these metal pillars, sorry. Oh my God, what is this? Look at this. What a big window, what a big hole in the ceiling.
And after that, I made my way to one of my favorite stops on this journey, the Old Road Market. It held a special charm, even its quiet resilience. There, I had the chance to meet some truly kind, warm-hearted people. Their hospitality, a reminder that even in the shadow of ruins, humanity still shines through.
I'm entering one of the renovated markets after 14 years for Souk Al-Hibab, which is known as the Road Market. What I recognized after a decades is the missing sharp details of the old souks, but still the architecture still amazing. We can see one of the most famous Minecraft chips and artisans, ropes.
Well, of course you'd expect to see ropes in the Road Market, that's obvious. But what really caught my eye was the craftsmanship, bundles of hand-woven ropes, traditional kitchen tools like throw brooms, and even exfoliating bath mitts. And tucked in the corner, a tiny shop with souvenirs, beautiful drawings, and decorative signs for the home. It was such a pleasant surprise.
Now he's measuring the rope and try to make leather, but another kind of leathers. And I asked him in the bus what they used to use. He told me they used a different kind of ropes, not as now.
The Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes stretching across 3 continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe. For centuries, it carried more than just silk. It carried knowledge, cultures, religions, and dreams. From the imperial cities of China like Chang'an, the route weaved through deserts and mountains, through Samarkand and Bukhara, Baghdad and Damascus, until it reached the ports of Mediterranean. And at the heart of this global web stood Aleppo. Since the dawn of history, Aleppo's city market has been the beating heart of trade, not only for Syria, but for the entire world. Located at the crossroads of civilizations, Aleppo linked the great cities of the Silk Road from east to west. This city has long been and still remains the economic capital of Syria,
city where trade, craftsmanship, and resilience have shaped generations.
عمر السوق هذا 800 سنة
800 سنة صح؟
800 عام
القرن 13 و14.
هون المدينة هي المركز الرئيسي لتجارة حلب التجارة السورية وتجارة العالم. هي حلب أم الدنيا، كل مواصفات طيبة وجميلة فيها
ما شاء الله.
من شعبها وسكانها وتراثها معاملتها مع الناس. وكانت حلب مدينة اقتصادية لسوريا. طيب هلا طفل صغير عمره 7 سنين عمال بيشتغل بجمع بجيب مصرات أو بتعلم مهنة.
صحيح.
إيه.
Work is something deeply embedded in the DNA of the Ethiopian and Syrian people in general. From a young age, they learn various crafts, mastering skills passed down through generations, and wherever they go, they bring that spirit with them, excelling and creating in all fields of life. What I've learned from this journey is simple. People with history and determination do not break under crisis. There are people of hope, people who rebuild, people who fight to preserve their heritage. So tell me, which part of the video was your favorite? And hey, do not forget to subscribe. I'm trying to make it to Iceland. Seriously. Next episode, we'll explore something they call a green gold. Can you guess what it is?